Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Whew. I feel like that this month is flying by. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like this month is flying by. Yes, we are in January and it's already the 19th. This month is almost over. It's literally almost over. Yeah. So, whew. Oh man, there's a lot to talk about today. Hey sister. Hi Jaden. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Hey sister.
Hi,
How's it going?
good, good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am good now. Hey honey,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in. Oh my god. Ooh, let's just get a kiss catch up real quick. So
hmm
how was the week? How was your week?
The week has been good. I've been getting myself back into the gym. And so that's been good. Starting a slow pace, starting with some 10 minutes on the treadmill. I finally had got up to 30.
Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah.
actually ran. I went to a Zumba class. That was awesome.
Nice,
Over at
nice,
LA Fitness. Big
nice.
up to LA Fitness for the free classes over there with your membership.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And
That
then
part.
turned around and had what was that? And I did the Zumba Friday evening. Turned around
Okay.
and had rehearsal on Saturday and then the show Saturday night. So
Wow.
right now my body is a little achy.
Okay.
I
But you
had
look
to I took a bath this morning just
you
to try to
can't
ease them bones.
yeah. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's yeah. My week was crazy, crazy, crazy.
Was
Very
it?
hectic. Very
Yeah.
hectic. In this house, like everybody was getting over stuff. First your nephew got
Mhm.
it, and then your brother-in-law got it, and it like it's trying to creep up on me.
Oh
But
no.
because I do a lot of my immunity, my daily immunity, I feel like it's not taking me down like it took them to, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Would, but I definitely felt like something like it's coming on trying to brew. Like I wasn't feeling my
Oh
best
no.
yesterday, but today I don't feel too bad. I got out
Mm.
out here in this lovely snowy weather.
Yes.
Lovely snowy weather. So that was cool. That felt good to get out, a little bit, get a little bit of that crisp winter air. And
Yeah, yeah.
so where we are, we getting some of that snow. I don't know about where everybody is.
Mhm.
Hello, thank you for coming in. But we are getting some of that snow. We are up north. Yeah, so I'm glad to be in and out of it. It was good in the moment, but now I'm
What?
glad
It's
it's
coming down right now, ain't it?
coming down right now. It's coming down right now. So they said we're expecting probably like 3 to 5 inches where we are, but a lot of places are getting it like a little heavier, a little stronger. So yeah,
Yeah, the MLK stuff for tomorrow got canceled and everything.
really.
Yeah.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be honest. I was hoping that whatever's happening outside today would have started tomorrow instead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Get that
Okay.
day off from school.
Okay. Listen, a sister need a day off.
I hear that.
It's like I'm there for my days off now. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Like these days been so stressful. And you see my little video
Oh.
that I put on. That was real. That was real because I literally had students that thought it was cute to go in after dismissal time and come in there and do that. So
Mhm.
when I say I was on 10 every time I came in that classroom, I was like, I know you lying. I know you lying.
That is
But
so funny.
it was like hilarious. That's why I had to make a spoof of it because at the time it was not funny. It was not
Uh,
funny.
I
You
didn't get it. I didn't get it what she was saying on the video.
know, yeah.
I saw when you were saying something about the prank and stuff, but I was like, what? I was like, are the children all right, but now I understand. It was after dismissal, and then you would come in the morning and see it like that. They done dumped it out again.
That
Oh
part, exactly.
Lord.
Yeah, I laid with the classroom nice and clean and clear, and then I come in into a big mess. Like I
Oh
was like after
wow.
the third time, because I had at the second time I was like, I need y'all to view the cameras. The first time I was upset, but I was like, all right, now I gotta clean all this up. Second time, I was like, okay, now I'm pissed off. I was like, y'all need to view the cameras. Nope, they didn't view the cameras. It happened a third time. I was like,
That's too
deuces. I was
funny.
like, I refuse. I am not cleaning it up. I asked y'all to view the cameras after the second incident. I am not cleaning it up. And when I said peace out, peace out. And
That
I
is
left
too
just
funny.
like I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I was like, I don't have it in me yet to do it again. And all those
Yeah.
people you saw, those are math manipulatives. Like I have them all. You see, when the beginning of that video, go back and look at it again. I have everything nice and organized and labeled, everything separated. They took and combined everything, dumped it all
So,
out, and they all pieces. So mine. Now think about having to go back and separate all those little pieces and put them in their home again.
yeah,
Child, I was so done. I was so done. Yeah.
I'm
But anywho,
sure.
that was how my week was. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy, crazy week. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. I see we have new friends in the house. Yes. So anyway, I'm gonna get us diving into our topic for today. So
Mhm.
this topic for me like hits home in a lot of ways. So we are going to be talking about stereotypes.
Okay, now.
Stereotypes, okay? That's big. Stereotypes are a real
Mhm.
thing. Okay. So if you're
Mhm.
not sure what a stereotype is a generalized belief about a group of people that is based on their membership in that group rather than their individual characteristics.
Mhm.
Okay? So you're judging people based on, who they belong to, their affiliations, or, maybe their religion or something, their culture. Yeah, instead of their individual characteristics. And it says stereotypes can be positive or negative, and they can be harmful because they erase your individuality.
Word.
Word up, right? Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Say, watching it from Atlanta. Welcome, welcome.
Mhm.
And they
Shout
said
out to ATL. Yeah, we
ATL,
got a lot of people
we
down
got
there.
family, we got family piece at ATL. So glad to
Yeah.
have you here. Yeah, so they said they got like examples of stereotypes. They got gender stereotypes. So we're gonna talk about that.
Mhm.
Gender stereotypes. Like they say stuff like women are more emotional and creative, right? While
Hmm.
men are more rational and independent. Huh. Not sure about
Could
that
be.
rational, and I'm not even sure about the independent part.
Right. For real though.
Yeah, hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, women can be more emotional and creative. I agree with that. But with the men being more rational and independent, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
And for real, and men be just as emotional, just
Okay,
like women be just as independent.
that
What? Holla
exactly.
at your girl. I'm
Okay,
super independent.
that part. I don't know, but that's a gender stereotype. Uh,
Yeah.
they said they have ethnic stereotypes, right? Like
Mhm.
one, they say African Americans are less educated.
That shit crazy.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy?
Mhm.
African American we're less educated, right? That's a stereotype.
Mhm.
They say Hispanics are lazy. They call Hispanic Americans lazy,
That
right?
shit is wild too.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's a real
Mhm.
thing. Like they stereotype people based on their ethnicity, and they say like Asian Americans are intelligent.
Mm.
If you're Asian American, they consider you more intelligent than all the other ethnic groups. So I'm like, that's wild to me. That's wild to me.
Mhm.
That goes to show you how big stereotypes are. How big stereotypes are. And then they have American stereotypes, right? So they say Americans are obsessed with guns.
Really?
We are
I mean, I
obsessed with
guess
guns.
so. I mean, well, like you said, it's like huge generalizations.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, are we really? Because I'm not thinking about that. I mean, I know that it's big in the United States, but I look at other countries and I'm like, they be like walking around with it like real bold. So I don't know. But
Mhm.
they
But
said that.
I remember like some years ago, like when I first started my locks and stuff, I used to think that everybody with locks was a vegetarian.
Stereotype.
It just seemed like people with locks, this was like before I was like really meeting people with locks, you know what I mean? Because like before I had mine, I didn't really know too many people that had locks. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And like just natural hair and stuff. So I thought that people that was like, natural and had locks and stuff, you know what I mean? That they was like into, me. Like they would say that, oh, I bet you're a vegetarian too, kind of thing. And so
Right.
I just used to think that, like, this was 20 years ago, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, they say besides Americans being obsessed with guns, they said that we're very materialistic. Hello, hello. Good morning.
Mhm.
Americans are very materialistic, and they say that we're environmentally ignorant.
Wow.
That's the
They
stereotype.
sound like they hit the shit on the nail.
Okay. It's not like they've been like watching and saying, yeah, we know how y'all be operating over here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It was this
yeah.
thing on 2020 I saw years ago, and it was talking about how the rest of the world kind of look at America as like these stupid Americans.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was doing this experiment of like Americans of other countries at restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. But then they said like how stereotypes are harmful to us. They said
Mhm.
stereotypes can be inaccurate and resistant to new information. You know,
Right.
I agree. Stereotypes can be very inaccurate, and like once you have this vision or this view of someone, you could be misinformed.
Mhm.
And not accepting of new information that you could be wrong about this person. And they said
Mhm.
stereotype can feed into the unconscious biases, unconscious biases that goes to how you say like you thought everybody with like locks were like vegetarians and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
like the unconscious biases, like, and when I think about stereotypes, like I think about how they think because like you're thin and stuff that like you're in shape and you're super healthy and things and you eat right and stuff like that, and that's not
Mhm.
necessarily true. It's not necessarily
At
true.
all.
Period.
Right.
Right. But then there's their bias of in that stereotype of like they see like someone that's not as fit, that doesn't look as healthy, and they think, oh my God, like they probably eat bad. They probably sit and eat fried foods and eat all the sugar and cakes, and they probably can't even do a split or
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like all these
I have all these assumptions.
all these assumptions about somebody because they might be a little bigger than your average person. Okay.
Mhm.
I learned a long time ago to not judge a book by its cover.
So true. Because
Okay.
everybody skinny is not healthy.
Not healthy. Not healthy. Okay. Okay. And you look at somebody that got a little, weight on them and say, oh my God, like, I bet you they can't do that, but you can't do that. Auntie, listen, made a believer out of me when I saw, people that were not your average skinny person doing splits and kicking hot dead legs up in the air, and I'm like, whoa,
Mhm.
okay, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't ever judge a book by its cover because
That's
I'm sure
right.
probably people
Mhm.
and me gonna do more than I can do. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah. So them unconscious biases, and they say stereotypes can make it difficult to see people for who they are.
Mhm.
That part. That part.
Yeah.
So they say, how can you avoid stereotyping people? Like be
Mhm.
aware of your own assumptions and your bias.
Mhm.
Be aware of them, right? So that's why I try not to assume anything. And I'm more like, okay, seeing is believing for me,
Mhm.
So I try to judge you based on like your actions, not what I see on the outside. Because sometimes
Mhm.
you look at somebody on the outside and say, "Oh, I bet X, Y, Z." You automatically assume and stuff. But I said, don't assume anything, right?
Right.
And they said, don't judge people based on their group membership. Whew.
Mhm.
Right, 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 right. I think that
Mhm.
probably may be a little difficult sometimes for me because I'm like,
Mhm.
sometimes your affiliations might say a lot. So that one is a little tough for me. That's
'Cause
tough.
say birds of a feather flock together.
There's no further flock together. So
You
that one
know.
might be a little difficult. Okay, but they
Mhm.
say avoid stereotype. Avoid stereotype. Um,
Yeah, you
they
just got to stay open minded. You know.
right, right, and they say consider um, the individual characteristics of people instead of
Hmm.
making generalization. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Right. Um, and like they said, like stereotyping is a generalized belief, about a particular category of people, and it's an expectation of people. Okay.
Hmm.
So, and then they have a such thing as racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
A racial stereotype, they said that that's a depiction of an ethnicity or race based on like the tropes and the cliches. Like
Hmm.
stereotypes can be very harmful. Like so they basically like how they said like African Americans or Caucasians or Mexicans, like because you're a certain ethnicity, then you had that stereotype that you do certain things and stuff, which is
Yeah.
not fair, and it definitely like could be harmful, because I know, especially me, like I work with someone that's Muslim, and they feel like they get targeted and stereotyped a lot because they are Muslim and they don't get like the same opportunities. You know, they feel like they're qualified for a lot of opportunities, but they get stereotyped because of their religious beliefs and things like that.
Hmm.
So that's something that I noticed that they really struggle. So yeah,
Yeah. I know
but
that'd be hard when it's like already, like so like, these stereotypes that's out here. But then like once you take them on yourself, what I'm saying too, like you said, like, if there's like a Muslim person and they already thinking like, well, that they see us in this way kind of
yeah,
thing. That that just
yes,
yeah, that doesn't seem like that's not very helpful, either to like, what I mean, to, grab hold of those stereotypes and then now you putting them on your own self.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, but they said like they have like different examples of like different kind of stereotypes. So they say like characteristics that society instinctively attributes to groups of people,
Mhm.
right? To classify them according to their age, according to their weight, like according to their occupation, their skin
Mhm.
color, their gender, etc. Things like that. And they said like they have like the sexual stereotyping, which like involves associating like girls and boys like with separation, like opposing sex characteristics. So we're gonna go into
Mhm.
about how they separate, boys and girls based on like their gender, like what they should be doing, the expectations of girls and boys and things like that. Right.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like, how do you get away from that? You can't. I mean,
It's
well,
hard. I
it's
know.
like people gonna always, um, I don't know. It's like judging. It's almost. It's like it's almost. It's a part of who we are. And um, yeah, and when you learn about like certain groups of people, what I mean, like that's the way it be like written like that too, what I mean, like these group of
Oh, I
people
know.
went through this.
I
You know what
know.
I'm saying? These groups of people, they go through this or their culture is like this. And what I mean, it's like you think a certain way about them, it's like these group of people, they did this,
Yeah.
terrorized the world for, what I'm saying, and colonized and
Yes,
and so you're gonna think a certain type of way about those people. And what I mean,
exactly.
it's just it'd be like, how do you like not, what I'm saying, when you
Mhm.
constantly when you hear these different things and stuff,
I
but like
know.
you said something about like the individual person, because you still, regardless of whatever group or whatever, what I'm saying, somebody has, come from, when you're
Yep.
talking with them and
Mhm.
you guys are like exchanging energy, it's like sometimes it's like you're changing their thoughts of what they thought about you, they're changing your thoughts of what you thought about them, everything. So it's like it's always that individual one-to-one, type of situation that could change your whole perspective.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Like I really don't like that people like judge you like by what they see. Like I like for me, like even me growing up, like I always hated having the name Tamika because I felt like that stereotype that I was being
And you
judged.
being ghetto.
Ghetto, like Tamika. Like I
Tamika.
always felt like I was gonna be judged based on that name, right? Long time to like really embrace my name because I'm like, don't call
Yeah.
me that, don't call me that because like
Mhm.
it's very stereotypical, you know.
Mhm.
And I felt like growing up, I really had to prove myself. I really had to prove myself
Yeah.
that I'm more than just my name. I'm more
Mhm.
than just my name. Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
really,
See, and I never thought that Tamika was ghetto.
child, child, because the way they used to use it in the context they used to use the name,
Mhm.
it was always the girl from the hood or something like that. And then I'll get
Mhm.
around certain people and they be like, "Oh my God, I love your name. Your name is so pretty." I'm like, "Okay."
But
And I
that's
started,
why I didn't like being called Nene. It was like, can you call me Janae? Like, can I grow up here? You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yes, like people start judging based on your name. Hello,
Yeah, it was
hello,
always like Nene.
Shaddai, I know, but no, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Hello, welcome in, welcome in, everybody. Yeah, but they like they said they have like the ethnic and cultural stereotypes. Like so for one, they say how the African Americans are less educated. Boo, boo, don't
Which is
agree, don't agree.
but you know what? But when you think about that, right? Because as soon as you said that, my mind went right back to a period of time when we weren't allowed to be educated. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? When it's like knowing how to read can get you hung.
Yes.
You know,
That
you
part.
know what I'm saying? And so,
That part.
it just be seeming um like it instilled a type of fear about learning in a way, like through the generations. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You better not get caught reading.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yep. Don't
And
let me do it. Hello, Chris
yeah,
Valera. Thank you for coming in.
hey
I know,
people.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and how they say like the Hispanic Americans are lazy. I mean, to me that's
Which
just
is
crazy. That's
which is
crazy.
wild
That is
because you
wild.
always hearing then because you hear them stereotypes, like what I mean, about getting work done
Right.
and
Right.
and getting a Mexican to do it,
Right.
type of stuff.
Right. So I'm like, so where do you get that from? But they consider Asian Americans like super intelligent, and then they have their stereotype where they say women aren't as competent as men. Okay,
Like what?
you they saying that women are not as competent as men.
I'm
That's
trying to that's confusing to
that,
me.
that okay.
Like,
Like
wait, what?
not only are we giving birth to babies, raising children, running households. Okay, I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's a real
Another
stereotype.
blanket?
That's a
Oh,
real stereotype. So yeah. Mm-mm-mm. But now they talk
yeah.
about yeah, they talk about like what does it like stereotyping actually mean for us, and it's like to believe unfairly that all people or things of a particular characteristic are the same.
Mhm.
And they said it's not fair to stereotype a whole group of people based on one person like you don't like.
Yeah. Right.
you know. So that's just
Mhm.
that brings us back to like they say, okay, that people get afraid of like African Americans, black people say, oh, one or two might do something bad or do something wrong, and all of a sudden we're all characterized the same way.
You know, what's that? Dr. Joy Leary, she used to talk about doing these training with police. And she
Yeah.
was saying that that she said that when she found out the cops were being told what's that? Like the number one thing you have to fear is a big black man.
Woo!
Yes.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello,
So
hello.
can you imagine what that's doing to every one of them cops? You know what I mean? And and their first thought anytime they come across a big black man. Because that was
Child.
part of what they was being told to fear in their trainings.
Wow.
I was like, what? Dr. Joy Leary talks about it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wow. And so she was doing this, like, I forget the type of training and stuff like that. That was the part that stuck out in my mind.
Yeah,
What I mean? I remember this conversation that she was having. But I'm sure you could find videos and stuff like that about it. But I thought that was wow. But she was really working with the officers to try to change their minds and their perspectives and stuff like that, so that they wouldn't be believing things like that.
right,
Um,
right, right.
yeah, but that shit crazy. Like, I'm like, can
Isn't
you
that,
imagine? You know
isn't
what I'm
that,
saying?
and we have sons. We have sons.
You know
So
what I'm
that's always
saying? That
my
are big black men.
big black man. Right.
You
So I'm
know?
always fearful. Like I'm always like, be careful, because you're already judged and stereotyped based on you being a male for one, and you being a black male. Okay.
Hmm.
Like the society has been taught to be afraid of you. You know,
Right.
they don't see anything outside of your skin color and the way you look. They don't know that you come from a decent family, that you're
Hmm.
educated, that you're hardworking, you've never been in trouble for anything.
Hmm.
They don't see that. All they see is that you're a big black man. That's it. That's
Hmm.
it. Okay. So I'm like
Yep.
always, I'm like, be careful when you go out here, because
Yeah.
society's going to look at you different once you walk outside this door. Okay.
Hmm.
Crazy. But they said they have stereotypes in school.
Yeah.
They have stereotypes in school. So, like one thing that how they stereotype um people in school are based on, like, they say boys are more gifted in like sciences, and they say
Hmm.
that girls are more emotional and creative, therefore they're better in the arts and the literature. So
That's
this
why,
is the way.
I was always better good in science and math.
See,
And arts as well, but not
see,
literature.
see, yeah.
You
But
know.
this is how they stereotype the boys and the girls, well, in schools.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they said it's actually a type four. I said,
Hmm.
what are type four stereotypes? So it's actually a type four. So they said that the basic fear of the type four
Hmm.
personality is that they do not matter, or they have a significant impact on the world. So people think that you're a type four, that you don't matter.
Wow. And so, all right. So years ago, I saw this movie called Waiting for Superman,
Okay.
and it was like a documentary, and they was
Hmm.
talking about the school system, the prison system, and basically they was like how they go by these tests by like in third grade or something like that. Like, so like if you're not doing well, if you're not testing well,
Hmm.
by like third grade and stuff like that, like they basically like count you out. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
they were saying that that's how they determine how many more prisons to build, because they assume that, like, like that these children that aren't doing well and stuff like that by like third grade math and stuff like that, reading, then they
Hmm.
assume that they on a straight pipeline to prison.
Ain't that something? Ain't that
Yeah.
something? Ain't that
Yep.
something?
And the majority of the time these are young black students, young black males at that. You know what I
It's-
mean? Like, talk about stereotyping.
okay.
That shit
Okay.
crazy. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, they be already giving up on them.
That is wild. That is
Yep.
wild.
The movie is called Waiting for Superman. So y'all out there, y'all get a chance, go check that shit out.
That's wild. Child. Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but they said, like, they feel like they don't have a significant impact on the world. Um,
Hmm.
and they said, like, in less healthy times, they often feel misunderstood. They're considered outcasts, and they're considered unrelatable.
Wow.
And in order to distinguish themselves from others, they may work hard to be unique or creative and expressive, because
Hmm.
they're outcasts. Whew.
Wow. And it's like, like you said, when you got like the world, or what I mean, the people around your environment already counting you out.
Already counting
You
you
know what
out.
I mean?
Already counting you out.
Yeah, it's like, where you go from there. I mean, yeah, you do turn to your creativity and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they also have an example of a female stereotype.
Mhm.
So, like for example, they say girls and women are generally expected to dress in typically feminine ways and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing.
Girly, girls are made of sugar and spice.
Right?
And
Yes.
everything nice.
Yeah. Wear your little dresses and
Mhm.
always look very dainty. Yes.
Be like,
Be
look, until you cross us, then
very
we
right.
show you that warrior side.
Okay. Okay. That's the stereotype of female, okay?
Mhm.
But say men are generally expected to be strong and
Mhm.
aggressive and bold. And like I said, every society, their ethnic group and their culture has gender roles as expectations.
Mhm.
But they can be different from group to group. So yeah, like every ethnicity and like culture, they do have expectations for what men should be like and what women should be like. You know,
Mhm.
that's real. That's real talk. That's real.
Yeah.
Like that brings me back to like I've seen like certain cultures where like the women are not allowed to walk alongside of the men.
Mhm.
The women have to walk behind the men,
Behind them.
right? The women have like the certain roles. Like it'd be crazy to me. I was like, I could not imagine being in that type of world.
For real.
I could
I would be the rebellious one getting kicked out the family and shit. Like,
that
no.
part. Oh my god, that is wild to me. That is
Wow.
wild to me. Yeah, like that's real stuff. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of cultures like women don't have no say, they don't have no voice. It's like you should be seen and not heard. Like the men, like they get together and it's like, okay, the women gotta stay play the background for every little thing. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Um, but yeah, so they have more stereotypes that's common like among Americans, besides us being materialistic and being obsessed with guns and like
Mhm.
environmentally naive and stuff like that, they consider Americans boastful and arrogant.
Yeah. Well, because we in America. Like, America has everything. You come to America, do whatever you want.
Right? Yes. So
In
this
this
is
crazy ass melon pot.
this is how we're viewed, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
Viewed as being disrespectful of authority.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Um, I said that we could be extravagant and wasteful.
But look, even as you're saying those things, I'm coming up with like certain people in my mind already. Like when you say, it's like I'm coming up with certain types of folks. You know what I mean? So you see how we got all our own stereotypes in our mind already. You know?
Ah,
Yeah. I'm like, shoot. I'm like, all right. They talking about white America. I'm
I'm
ready
like,
to say,
especially with the extravagant and wasteful, okay?
oh, well,
Like,
yeah. See, well, yeah. Like I see that too, you know what I mean? Like with black culture. With what I mean, or or just certain oh, I was about to say like or hip hop culture or um what I mean, people that like to wear name brands and stuff, you know what I mean? Or them folks that be like, oh, I don't wear the same thing twice or what I'm
mhm.
saying? It's just yeah, you can see it in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like I said, but it's never everyone. It's just, it's
yeah,
always some select few.
yeah. It's like I don't consider myself extravagant, and I'm definitely not.
Mhm.
But I had to like learn like through the years. You know how like I'll always say like, well, I don't need like certain brands like to define me and stuff like that. But I noticed like not everything's created
Mhm.
equal. I was like, I like what I like. I had my styles. Like I was shot from all different type of places and stuff. But I noticed like the
Mhm.
quality of things. Okay, easier as a better way of putting it. Like I would buy certain things and then it wouldn't like last me long. It would like tear up or like something would happen with it. And I noticed like if I like stepped it up a little bit and like maybe I'll get a different type of brand or something like that, I noticed that it will last me longer and things like I can get my money's worth out of it and stuff. So, you know, the extravagant get a little tricky because I know people like kind of look at me like, oh, you know, you got a lot of coach or you got a lot of that. Okay. But my stuff
Mhm.
lasted me a long time. It's like I'm
Mhm.
getting what I pay for. Okay.
Yeah, I be loving like they had that pair of jeans that be like, oh, I had these for 12 years.
Right, right. It's like,
Like I be
okay,
having like favorite clothes and stuff.
right. Yeah, it's like, you know, of course I might pay a little extra for my things and like maybe brands that people say, oh my God, like I know that costs a lot of money, but it's gonna last me a long time. It's gonna last me a long time.
Yeah.
Stuff, you know. So yeah, then they say that like we're ignorant of other countries and cultures.
Hmm. Some of us, you know
Some,
what I'm
some,
saying?
some.
Some, you know what I mean? But some of us is out here traveling and
Yeah.
expanding our mind and, you know what I mean, being cultured.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to learn a lot more about other countries, like visiting, stepping outside of American soil, which I have done.
Mhm.
You know, visiting other places and stuff. And there's still a lot more that I would love to see. Okay, still a lot
Yeah.
more to learn about. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be thinking that because a lot of us that haven't traveled outside of the US and
Yes.
stuff,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So, yeah, it could kind of be like that, you know what I mean? Because, you don't really, sometimes unless you go places and stuff, you know what I mean, and
Yes.
you won't get to know these other cultures and
Not,
stuff.
you will
You know
not.
what I mean? And then sometimes when these other cultures come here to America, they're getting very Americanized,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So it's like they be dropping their culture, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? They do. It's like and being trying to be so American,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
That's real talk. I was actually watching something maybe about a month or so ago. It was a sad story. It was a sad story. Um uh, a guy came from like Egypt or something. Um
Mhm.
and he married a woman, American woman.
Mhm.
Of course they had children. So he had a belief that, you know, women don't do a certain thing and stuff. Like he was very like that manly man, like, you know, my
Mhm.
culture, women don't do this, women don't do that. Like real strong in his beliefs.
Oh, is
But on
that
the
the one
other,
he left her because she got a job or she
no,
started her own business? Okay.
this is a whole different story. This one is crazy. But
Gotcha.
the father like they had daughters.
Mhm.
And the daughters were very Americanized. You know, they didn't want to do the beliefs that the dad was trying to instill on them. You know,
Mhm.
like, you know, women that girls don't wear pants, girls don't do that. Like it was these crazy beliefs. And
Yeah.
so they started like dating outside of their culture. He didn't like that.
Mhm.
Like they were just like, I want to be normal. Like, okay, of course, this is my heritage, but like I was raised an American, I have an American mom,
Yeah.
things like that. So I want to feel like Americanized. He actually held that against them. Actually held that against them and killed his daughters because of it. He
Oh
killed.
my gosh. He was like, "It's gonna be my way or no way." He was like, "I will kill you first
He
before I
killed his
let
own.
you become like the people in
Yes,
the country that I moved you to and raised you in." What the hell?
yes.
You know what
He
I'm saying? Like, then go back to your country and so that you can exist in your culture. You know what
yes.
I mean? Like, why create a family here, but then expect them to not blend in or be like the culture of this country?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that was very sad to me. I was like, for you to kill your own children, that was crazy to me. That was crazy.
Wow.
But that's how serious it gets. That's
How
how
old
serious.
were the girls? They was like getting into like teenage
Teenagers,
years.
teenagers, one thing like 14 or 17 or something like that. They were young. They were young.
Wow. I
It was.
figured they was getting to that age where they was starting to like boys. And it's
Yep,
probably, you know what I'm
yep,
saying? And he
yep,
was like, okay, oh, you think you're gonna be around here dating?
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like he
Yep.
probably was like, "No, I'm going to get you a husband when you turn 21."
That
You know
part.
what I'm saying? But it's like that ain't how things go in this country.
Yep. Yep.
You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
the older one, he was trying to set her up with an arranged marriage and everything. It was crazy. And she was like, I'm
Wow,
not doing it. And yep, he ended up killing us. That was the saddest thing I had ever heard
that is
of.
so sad.
Kill both of his daughters. I was like, that's crazy to me. Yeah.
Wow.
And they say that Americans are informal. I mean,
Mhm.
ways can be informal in a lot of ways. But what I don't like, they said that we could be loud and obnoxious.
We can be. We be out in the street like, oh, what's
Loud and obnoxious. I'm like, okay, alrighty then. um, and, and the biggest one that they
up?
say about Americans as far as stereotype is that we can be racist.
Racist. We be
Racist.
prejudiced as hell. We do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But yeah. I don't know, but
Yeah,
who ain't?
I know. I know. I know. I know.
Who ain't walking around here, like you said, with they thoughts and their ideas and stuff,
Exactly. They're
you know.
unconscious biases and
Biases. Yeah, see, I don't necessarily think of it, as everybody being like racist, but
yeah,
definitely, like you said, prejudice and with their biases and
right.
different
Exactly.
things like that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Somebody said, "What is our plans for MLK inauguration holiday?" It's actually MLK's birthday being observed, and it's inauguration day. So I won't be watching inauguration, but
I
to
will
each
not either, but I will be like, Martin Luther King, big up to you. Yes.
up, big up. Yes,
Mm.
yes. Um, but and they said that it's five stereotypes of men.
Uh-huh. Only five.
Only five. Like, wow, that's all y'all can tell me. But they said men are considered self sufficient.
What? Why so
What you
many
think
of
about
them
that?
always living off a woman then?
Think about that one. They consider men being self sufficient. I had to think about that one. Let me think about that one. Yeah,
What, maybe if they in the forest? When do we get to see that? I don't
maybe,
know.
maybe. Um, okay, they said men are always acting tough. That's a stereotype that they gotta act tough.
Hmm.
Okay, a lot of them do. I agree with them
Yeah,
when they
but I heard the key word was acting.
acting. They could be acting tough. Um, they say they have physical attractiveness. Men
I
are
mean,
always
sometimes
it depends.
I'm saying it depends. Sometimes they be a little,
Sometimes, times. They said they have rigid masculine gender roles. What you think?
some,
Mm,
not all of them. Some, like, what I mean, it'd be a lot more. It just depends, because it seemed like men had kind of like laid off of some of that, what I mean. But these like recent, like podcasts and stuff like that, what I mean, have kind of been feeding a lot of like toxicity. What I mean?
yes.
So it seemed like,
Yes.
with the alpha male and the beta
Mhm.
male, and so it seemed like a lot more of that conversation has been coming up, kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Hey Kim, thank you for coming
Okay.
in. Yay. Yeah. And they said that they're hypersexual.
That might be right.
That might be right. Hypersexual, and they are controlling.
Or they want to be controlling.
Want to be controlling. That's not a stereotype for me.
But look at me, I'm joining right in with the stereotypes like they and they.
And they. I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's like how do you stay away from it though? It's like it'd be a lot of truth to a lot of it, though.
It'd be a lot of truth to a lot of it.
It'd be hard not to. It's
You know,
crazy.
it'd be like you be seeing it, like, you know, they say it'd be all around you.
It's hard. It's
Everything you
hard.
hear about, things you see other people experiencing, things you experience yourself, you be like, well, I ain't lied.
Exactly.
You
Oh
know?
my God. That's real talk. That is real talk. Man, like I struggle with not trying to classify men as a certain way. But especially for me, like with zodiac signs. Like I'm big on like zodiac
Right.
signs. Oh my God. Like I'm quick to be like, what's your sign? What's your
Yes,
zodiac? And I already got a whole perception of you based on your zodiac sign.
yes.
Oh,
But see,
I
I be like, what's your zodiac? What's your rising? What's your moon? Where your Venus at?
right. I already know, got a whole idea about you just based on your zodiac sign, which is crazy.
Yes. Yeah. And that stuff, and now I'm gonna say, and that's something I do be believing in that. It's like because it be showing itself to be true so often.
Right, right,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yep. But they even got stereotypes when it comes to kids. They
Mm.
when it comes to kids. So this is an example of a stereotype when it comes to kids. Like, okay, you can't wear those because pants are for boys.
Oh no, that's
Right,
crazy. But you
crazy.
know what? So now with having, so before I had my son, I just had the two girls. I used to be dressing them all pretty. I was always with them in like, you know, dresses and tights and shoes and they used to be tearing the stuff up. And I
See?
remember when they got to be around like 5 and 7, maybe even a little younger, you know, like 4 and 6 or something. And they was like, I don't want to wear that. You know, they
Right,
started telling me, and I was like, "Why? It's so pretty." Da, da. And it was like, "Mike, I want to play. I want to
right,
play." It was like, "I can't play. I can't
right,
play in the, you know, in this skirt and in these shoes. Like they putting holes in the stockings, they tearing up the shoes and stuff." And I started letting them dress themselves and pick out their own clothes. And it was pants, play clothes, sneakers, and I had to just let them be. I was like, "Good child." I was like, "Why are you trying to control that, trying to force them into this, like, you know."
right.
I was like, they just trying to be children and play.
I'm- that's
And
like,
yeah.
yep, but also stereotype that girls shouldn't wear pants, right? And then they have
Mhm.
another one that, oh, you can't play with that doll. It's for girls.
Mm.
That
I
dolls are
do feel like
specifically for girls.
I
Yeah.
felt like that my son's grandfather, I felt like that he used to try to, you know, say stuff like that to my son because him having two older sisters, worried about him playing with his sister's toys and stuff. You
Mm.
know what I mean, kind of thing. Because, you know, like he would go in their room and he would be playing, you know, they had like My Little Pony stuff or, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know, it's like, you know what I mean? He's just like a child playing with other children.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so
Right.
I would just let them play. I would never tell my son, "Oh no, you can't play with this. This is for girls stuff," or you know what I mean? And he had a bunch of his own toys and stuff like that, of course, you know what I mean? And sometimes they would play with his stuff. They would play, you know, and then it was stuff that they played with together. But
Right.
I never like stepped in to try to tell any of them what they could or couldn't play with.
Yep. But that's the whole thing. They
Yeah.
like boys shouldn't play with dolls, about dolls are for girls, right?
Mhm.
Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming.
Hey,
Um,
hey.
another one they say like football is a boy sport. We
I used to be playing football until I was about 16 years old.
that part. That part.
I sure
I
did. And I was always, and I love the tackle.
okay, okay. Listen, listen. I remember being judged so much as a child because I love to get out there and play football with the boys.
With the
Be getting
boys.
out there
Yeah.
playing football with the boys, and the girls be on the sideline. Look at you, you such a tomboy out there playing with the boys. Girls ain't supposed to play football. I be like, whatever. I'm out there
Uh-huh.
you know, with the boys. Be like, when
It
we
was
gonna do
more
football
fun.
today? Like, right? Football out
Yeah.
there with the boys. Be like, what? I could do this too. And
Yes.
it has become so like pronounced now that they have like female football teams. Like, it's real,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Get away from that
Mhm.
football as a boy sport. That is so back in the day, right? But that
Right.
was the stereotype that girls should
Mhm.
football. Like I've been shut that down as a kid, right? When they said pink is a girl's color.
What they say, but I feel like strong men wear pink.
Yep, strong man, real man wear pink. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. I see a dude wearing pink. I be like, you better go ahead on with yourself. You better go
All
ahead.
right.
Okay, okay.
Yes. I'll be
Right?
like, okay, he's secure with himself.
Very secure. Very
You
secure.
know?
Very secure. Right?
Yeah.
That they say real men wear pink. Okay. Well, who
Mhm.
does it have to be a woman's color, a girl's color?
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Easy to me. And
Yeah, and because they think of pink as being soft and stuff. You
still,
know what I'm saying?
it's just like telling a
Vulnerable.
man wear blue, or she shouldn't wear black, or she shouldn't wear brown.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
Right. And I
why
love
can't a
blue.
male wear pink?
Mhm.
I'm saying that's
Yes.
wild. That's wild. Then they got ones like, you know how girls like to get their hair cut, and they say, "Oh, you got a boy's haircut." What is there such thing as a boy's haircut? It's a haircut.
Mm.
You got
Right.
your haircut in a certain way. But yeah, but if you get your hair cut in a certain way, then it's got to be real masculine, or you got to be a male, or whatever. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
stereotype. Like if you get your hair cut a certain way, that oh, you got to.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It
That's
is. It is. I remember when before I having locks and stuff, and me having all my hair all cut off, and I remember just like loving it. I was in like just get wetting it every morning.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about it like, if it looked like a boy or any of that stuff or whatever. It was just what I wanted to do. I didn't even have them thoughts in my head,
Uh
you
huh.
know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Mhm.
And they said, like they say to boys, like you got girly hair.
What kind of like if his hair is long?
Yeah, you got girly hair. You know how many boys wearing their hair with their long, luscious locks and stuff? And I'll be like, oh my God,
Mhm.
it's so cute. Your hair is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Like,
Mhm.
why you gonna come and tell them they got girl hair? Because they got long, luscious
Because
locks.
they be hating because they know that every woman that they encounter got something to say about it in a good way. You know
That
what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. He be having me cracking up laughing. He be like, yeah, the girls be playing in my luscious locks. I'm like,
I
oh,
bet.
where is the bubble so I can pop that air bubble out your head? Yeah. He be getting so conceited with his hair because he do this little thing, wet the hair and put some little curly gel in it, whatever he do. And it be just, woo. He said, yeah, the girls be playing in my hair. I was like, oh my God, I can't. Whatever, boy, whatever. Like all them locks. Hello, hello, thank you. Yes. Now and then they have like, oh, you echoed your phone. You good? Okay. Yeah, you phone echoing again.
You said Afro and the what?
I said your phone was echoing.
Oh yeah, is it echoing right now?
Yeah.
Give me. All right, I'm gonna start it over.
Okay. Oh yes. But yeah, so they said they have a such thing as gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes. So they say a gender stereotype is, oh, my host coming back in. So they say that gender stereotypes is a generalized view or perspective about attributes or characteristics that are or are to be possessed by men or women, or the roles they are or should be performed by men or women. Those gender stereotypes.
Okay.
So gender stereotypes can be both positive or negative. Like for an example, how they say women are nurturing. That's a gender
Mhm.
stereotype. Or they could say women are weak.
Mm.
Gender stereotype,
Mhm. Yeah, just
right?
like even like to assume, I guess, like you said, in general, women are typically,
Yes.
I guess like nurturing, because we have a womb and, we give birth and stuff and, having children and things. Um, but I have definitely met some very non-nurturing type of women that were
That,
not nurturing at all, and some men that were very nurturing. You know
hmm.
what I'm saying? They was the ones, taking care of the children just beautifully, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And like saying some women that were very cold, and didn't seem nurturing at all.
Yes. 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 So that's definitely a stereotype that women are nurturing because although it's a lot of us out here, there's a lot of us that are not.
Yeah.
Are not. Okay. And that thing with women being weak, okay, it's
Hmm.
some weak women out here, but
Just like
majority
it's some weak men.
it's right. It's a lot of weak men. Yes. Yes. That part. That part. Yep.
Yeah.
And then they have like the ethnical stereotypes, based on your
Hmm.
ethnicity. That they view people based on their religions, their wealth, like how some
Hmm.
ethnicities are considered wealthy and stuff, or they consider you not being wealthy if you're a certain ethnicity. Um, their language bound, like they say that your language, you're certain to have fixed kind of characteristics based on your languages, and you can only do certain type of work.
Hmm.
Okay. When I
Crazy.
think about that, like how they say Mexicans are only good for like doing the fields, doing like the grunge work and stuff because you're Mexican. I mean, it's crazy how they stereotype people based on their
Yeah.
ethnicity.
Or even do you remember when that jackass president we got, when he was like about the black jobs?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, what kind of shit is that?
Stuff like that. Right.
Be like, yeah,
Right.
you'd be like the black jobs. You mean like the one Obama had? What are you talking about, sir?
Right.
Right,
Yeah, that's
like,
a very prestigious black job, if I say so myself.
you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that part. That part. I'm like, it's crazy, like how they look at you, but your ethnicity say you should only be doing this certain type of thing or whatever, or you're only capable of doing that. Right. That
Yeah.
just burns my britches. That burns my britches when
Mhm.
they try to separate and divide based on like your culture or your ethnicity and stuff like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you're only good to work in the kitchen, or you should be only waiting tables, or stuff like that. Like you
Yeah.
can't.
And there's a period of time where there's teachers actually doing that shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Right. So that'd be crazy to me. And again, like I said, but we talking about like the ethnicity, and then they have like the cultural stereotyping, like it's the practice of ascribing specific characteristics or behaviors or beliefs to all individuals belonging to a particular culture
Mhm.
or ethnic or group, right? That's the same thing like we're talking about. Like because you're a particular culture, then you're automatically you label as this, or
Yeah.
you know, this is what you're viewed as. Like
Mhm.
that could get real touchy. That could get real touchy. And people are just
Yeah. And like I said, it's one of those things that we also do to ourselves too. You know what I mean? With the, assumptions is like, um, it'd be like, from one person of color to another person of color, you know what I mean? Having these assumptions like we all in the same struggle,
mhm,
or,
mhm,
kind of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's just they just out here, like it's like with the stereotypes and stuff, there's a lot of stuff we just won't be able to get rid of.
I know. I know. And this is the society that we are living in. The society that we are living in.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they said like
Yeah.
they characterize you based on behaviors or beliefs, right? Um,
Mhm.
they said like it involves like a fixed or oversimplified perception about a
Mhm.
group without acknowledging their individuality, you know? So, like, I personally don't like being stereotyped because I'm a black female, you know,
Right.
and I'm not capable of doing certain things because I'm a black female. And that's
Mhm.
those kind of things that bother me. I'm like, I can do just as much as you can do. Okay.
Yeah.
Me being black don't mean I'm not capable of doing what my counterparts can do and stuff.
And
So,
it's like it goes back to that thing of like, somebody else's opinion of you
right,
having nothing to do with you. You know what I'm
right,
saying? For real, for real. Because it'd be like, it's like Like, I don't mind being underestimated. You know what I mean? I
Right.
feel like I was always underestimated just from being short, being thin, you know what I mean, being little, you know what I mean? And I just saw that so much already as in my childhood, you know what I'm saying? That's why I used to have to be knocking folks out.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because they'd be thinking like, oh, she little, you know what I mean, thinking they can talk trash to me. So next, I'm in a fight and, you know what I
That part.
mean, taking down some big, you know what I mean, person who
That
thought
part.
they was going to be able to take me just because I was small. And
That
so
part.
I feel like that instilled something in me from little. So it was like, it's like underestimate me if you dare. You
That
know what I
part.
mean? Kind of thing,
That part.
and so it's like even somebody's stereotype or whatever they think about me or whatever, it just be like whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, because it seems like it's going to happen, anyway. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it matters more about like what you know about yourself and what you put out. Yo, this snow is like really coming down. It's beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
we having a winter this winter.
Having the winter, and I love looking. I love looking at it. I don't like being in it, but I love looking at it because it is beautiful. It's definitely beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
I love proving people wrong.
Right.
Prove me wrong.
Mhm.
Especially if you had this perception or you feel like there's something that I can't do or I'm not capable of doing. It's like, okay, my actions speak louder than my words. It's like, and
Exactly.
you know how people go about brag, be like, I could do that, I could do that. Like, I don't need to brag because I
Mhm.
can tell you better than I could tell you, right?
Exactly.
Don't need to brag about it
Exactly.
or talk about it, right? But I let it
Mhm.
speak for me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Be like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. You will see.
we'll see. You will see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will see.
Mhm.
Exactly. But then they have high school stereotypes.
Mm.
High school stereotypes. So not only do they got stereotypes for children in school, but they got high school stereotypes. Like depending on your age or like where you went to school, it's like you might have some of the following high school cliches. Like they consider jocks the athletes and like the cheerleaders. Okay,
Yeah.
in high school, um, they have what they call theater kids.
Mhm.
Into the theater and the arts, right?
Yeah.
Then you have what you call like the popular kids, right?
Mhm.
Everybody, the big socialites of the school and everything, like, oh yeah, they're the
Uh-huh.
like they really be having these labels when you were in high school. Like really be having these labels.
Yeah.
They really have these labels. Then they have the ones that consider like the nerds or the academics too. Like, oh yeah, they're a nerd. They're a nerd. They're a bookworm.
Mhm.
They always get straight A's and they always in the book. Like I'm like, this is real talk. Like I remember being in high school, like yeah, having all these different categories of what
Yep.
type of student you was,
Yep.
right?
And it's
Then
like
they
you gotta figure out where you fit in.
how you fit in, right? Then
Uh-huh.
they said they got like the artsy kids, the
Mhm.
ones that's in the arts, like they doing the murals in school, like they always doing like the things beautifying the buildings, the artsy kids,
Yes.
right? Then they have like the band kids, like the kids that's in the band, they
Right.
the ones that representing like when you have like the homecomings and the games and they in the band doing the chorus and stuff like that, the band kids. Then you got the rebels, the ones that don't want no parts of it. They always
Mhm.
skipping school, skipping class in the hallway. We can have it. Doing stuff they ain't got no business. Then they said you
Mhm.
got the hipsters, the ones that's living in the free world. They jumping like punk rockers and all this other kind of stuff. And it's
Mhm.
like as I'm like reading this and talking about, I'm like, this is real talk. Like you really got different categories when you get in like high
Yeah.
school. It's really different categories of kids. Like it's for real
Mhm.
talk. That's real talk. But yeah, but they talking about like the stereotypes between like the girls and the boys. Like that the girls are often more emotional and they're considered more caring and
Mhm.
they're considered in need of protection because you're a girl.
Mm.
You're in need of protection, right?
Mhm.
And they consider the males are as being like more rational, career driven, and they're strong because they're or because they're a boy.
This is crazy. Where did you get these stereotypes from?
Child, listen, doing
Right.
research. The people out here really believe this stuff.
Yeah.
Believe this stuff.
Mm.
It's wild to me, like where they come up with this. Like, how do you really think this? Like, where are you getting your data from? Hello,
Yeah.
hello, thank you for coming in.
Hey.
Um, yeah, but yeah, but they were saying how they consider that girls are not as strong as boys are.
Mhm.
What you think
That's
about that?
so wild.
Isn't that
But you
wild?
know what? I can kind of remember just like like because when I was growing up and when like when I was in high school and it was just me, my dad, and my brother.
Mhm.
And I can remember times, say once it got dark outside and wanting something from the store, and my dad would be like, "No, send your brother." And I'd be like, "Why?" You know what I'm saying? Like, because and he would feel like it was, like it was less dangerous
Hmm.
for my little brother to go out and go
Yeah,
get something from the store instead of me being out,
yeah, yeah.
because he was, what I'm saying, he just felt like it was, like nobody was going to bother my little
I
brother.
need brother. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
it's a lot of pervs out here, but it's like,
mhm.
to be fair, like not only are they messing with girls, they getting boys too. They getting boys too. They
Exactly.
getting boys too.
Yeah.
Like the boys
Hmm.
child.
Yeah. And I used to be thinking like, but I could beat Lucian up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like if something was to go down, like I'm gonna be coming to protect him. I
Exactly.
just, but I guess he just figured, like
Yeah.
maybe like that I look more vulnerable or something just being a female or something.
Right.
But one thing
Right.
growing up, what I mean, I think, like having my dad around and having brothers and cousins and stuff, I always felt protected. Having you, having a big sister, what I mean, because, it was like I always knew it was someone I could call. So I definitely always felt protected. And I can't imagine, just thinking objectively,
Yes.
what I'm saying, maybe people that don't have that, what I'm saying. But I figure like male or female, you want to feel protected. So it's
Right.
not about gender, what I mean? And
Right.
not that, and because I know how to fight, I have this like that I know I can protect myself. You know
Right.
what I'm saying though too, so it just seemed like it has nothing to do really with gender, you know what I'm saying? It's like no matter who you are, you want to feel protected
Right.
and safe, you know what I'm saying, in yourself, or knowing like, yo, like I got people, what I'm saying,
I
if
got
I need to, what I'm
exactly that
saying,
part.
people that I can call and that ain't even a question, just gonna be like, all right, I'm driving.
Part.
you
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't get
You know
messed
what
up.
I'm saying? Because if you come to me like, Janae, we got to go do something, you ain't even got to explain. I'll just be like, all right, look, I'm on my way. you
Ah,
know?
I mean that was us all day, especially growing up. It was just like, all right, well, she said it. All right, it's time to fight. That's it.
Because I remember many times being like, what? I'm about to go get my sister.
I remember laughing about this so much growing up. I was like, a lot. I probably over half of my fights was because of my little sister. Because I always tell you, especially with you being smaller, people used to pick on you, and you always had that bigger than the world mentality. Like, I'll fight anybody. I don't care how big they are. And I'll be like, "Ah." I was like, let me handle the big people, okay? They more than you tell me. I know you can fight them, but let me handle it.
Mhm.
And she, you sat and ran with it. Like, all right, I'm just gonna get my big sister.
Yeah. I'm so glad. It was like I had some serious anger issues when I was little, man. I don't know.
I was like, all right, you must my sister. All right, now we got to fight. Now we got to fight. Yeah. But it's just funny look back and laughing at these days. Yeah. But
Yeah.
how they said like they said the girls is not as strong as boys, but I don't know. I don't quite agree with that
I
one.
don't understand it. Yeah.
That's a stereotype that's one of the stereotypes. But they said the truth is that you can't judge how strong people are by whether they're boys or girls.
Word up. Exactly.
That part,
Right.
that part,
Mm-hmm.
facts, 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 facts. Yes. And then they said another stereotype is that Asian students are smarter than other students. That is a
Mm.
but the
Well,
truth,
they do be going to school year round.
but
Yeah.
but
But
but we have a lot of Asians in America that go on the same school system as we are.
exactly. So they on the same level with the rest of them.
That part,
On the
that
same
part,
level with the rest of us.
that part. So that is a stereotype.
Hmm.
But the truth is, they said you can't judge how smart people are by looking only at where they come from.
Exactly.
Okay, that
Yes.
part, that part. Yes,
Mhm.
and they have a such thing as a blood type personality stereotype. Did you know that,
What? I want to hear about this one.
girl? You can't make this stuff up. So they say if your blood type is type A,
Hmm.
that you're considered earnest, creative, sensible, reserved, patient,
Hmm.
and responsible. If you
Hmm.
have type A blood type,
Hmm.
okay. If you have type B, they say that you're passionate, you're active in nature, you're creative, and you're strong.
Okay.
Okay. If you have a type B, they say if you have AB blood type, that you're considered cool, controlled, rational, and adaptive. If you
Hmm.
have AB, and if you have O blood type, you're considered confident, self-determined, strong-willed, and intuitive.
Hmm.
I'm a type O.
I was about to say it seemed like mine should be O, but I'm
I'm a
a
type
type B.
You're a type B. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
passionate, active in nature, creative, and strong. You
Yeah.
are creative and strong. Yeah. True.
Hmm.
Yeah. But so my type O is confident, self-determined, strong-willed, which I am, and intuitive. I'm
I
very,
love it.
very
Yeah.
intuitive. Yes, I am.
Okay. So it might be something to that.
Might be something to that. It might be something to
Hmm.
that. But I never knew that your personality based on your blood type. That's crazy.
Hmm. That is,
Crazy.
I was hearing that something about like the type of foods that you should be eating too.
Really?
Like based on your blood type and things. So you know how
Ah,
sometimes, like we be all, like we hear about these certain diets or whatever, stuff like that we try. And they say like certain ones may work better for you based on your blood
really?
type. You can have,
To that?
different types of needs.
Wow. I have to
Yeah.
look into that. I have to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, very interesting. And then they have like the boy things,
Mm-hmm.
stereotype things that should be only boys should be doing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
such as rigid roles. Like
Mm-hmm.
they say like men should be earning higher incomes.
Why?
Why? because they're a boy, they should be earning higher incomes and they
Oh,
should
they
not
figure
do the
like, oh, I guess like because they figure that they're, a boy is or male is expected to be the breadwinner.
yeah, because they should have rigid gender roles, and they said they should not be doing domestic chores at home.
The fuck? I mean, I'm sorry. What?
I'm like, I don't know where y'all get this from.
I be
Cause my
making sure that my son knows how to like cook and what I mean, like he cleans up his room and stuff. And he used to not clean up. I literally used to go and I used to do the same thing with my girls. I used to go
okay,
and clean up their room and stuff, and like help them with cleaning their room so that they know how to clean it well. And you know how they would like try to hide stuff like under the bed or behind the dresser, and I'll go
right,
pull all of that stuff out and be like, no, what I mean. But like with my son, for one, he never tried to hide stuff under the bed or behind the dresser.
uh
But he
huh,
just wasn't really cleaning up. But like now, I don't have to tell him to do anything. I'll be like, "What you doing?" I'm cleaning up my room. He in there sweeping, mom. You know where the broom at? You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? Like he just takes care of himself because he, just like takes pride in himself and his space. that
Okay.
he's in. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So you see him taking his dishes down and you know what I mean, his cup or his bowl or something like that, or I'm like, what? It's just I mean, this is like just life skills. You know
Child,
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying? That
saying.
you
Like
should
these
have.
stereotypes is crazy to me. Like what part of this world should a boy or a male do domestic chores? Because honey, all my sons learn how to wash dishes, wash their own clothes, clean up,
Exactly.
mop some floors. Child, please. Hey, Anna, thank you for coming in.
Whatever.
Yeah, child. I was like, they got
Yes.
I'm like, one thing you're gonna learn today is learn how to be domesticated, okay? Because ain't
Yeah,
nobody
I mean, because it's like, like what if he lives by himself for some
part.
time, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that is so retarded.
Crazy. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, no. I was like, no, my boys were very domesticated, okay? And I have
Yeah.
a husband that's domesticated. All right? Yes. Yep.
Hmm.
They saying that boys shouldn't be taught or expected to do traditionally female tasks like cooking or cleaning. What?
That is wild. Yeah, like I be making sure he know how to cook for himself.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what
Oh my
I'm
God.
saying? Yeah.
I'm crying. I'm
Yeah,
crying.
and like and when that's one of the things when my little brother when he comes to town, I was like, we're gonna have some cooking lessons because I'll be telling him stuff over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because he lives by himself, a young bachelor. And
Okay.
I'm like, he be eating out and stuff all the time. And it's like, no, sir. Like, what I mean, get yourself a nice good toaster oven, you know what
That
I'm
part.
saying, and a rice cooker. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying? So that you can take care of yourself. Come on in.
okay.
Look at that, the
Okay.
door.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like,
Hey,
I'm
son.
like, we should be very domesticated. Like, think of your nephew. He does
Yeah.
all the domesticated things. Like, he has a little girl. He combs her hair. He does
Uh-huh. And
her
my
hair.
dad used to do mine.
Okay. He makes
Mm-hmm.
sure she's dressed. He cooks her meals. All this. I'm like, as you should. As you should.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever go out here thinking that somebody's gonna be waiting on you hand to foot, because that's not the reality of the
Exactly.
world. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I started
Yeah,
them
I
real
feel like
young, child.
it's like know as much as you can, have as many skills as you can have. You know what I mean? It's like that's wild to make it like like a person not supposed to be able to do these things. But like I want my girls knowing how to fight. You know what I mean? Just like I
Okay,
want my son knowing how to cook.
that
Yes.
that part, I'm like, that's wild to me. And they
And
said like,
he came in a room and said, "I do, mom."
hey nephew, yeah, but they were saying like they boy things are like heterosexuality, and they like have homophobias and stuff, that they say consider that only straight men are real men. And
Mm-hmm.
that they got to be hypersexual. Like men should never say no to sex. Like what? What? So you're
Yeah,
going to consider a real man if you're
I used to
right.
admire like those men that I would meet, and it's like what I mean that has standards about the type of woman that they wanted in their space.
That part. That part. That
You know what
part.
I'm
That,
saying? Like,
right.
like I could appreciate a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them dudes that's just like, that's just going after anything.
Right.
You know what I
Hyper
mean?
that never say no to sex. Like, why you guys sleep with everything with two legs? That's crazy. That's wild to me. And that they can only
Hmm.
consider you a real man if you're a straight man. Like, that's crazy to
Hmm.
me. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy for real too.
Crazy for real, child.
Hmm.
Um, and they said like the it's examples of bad stereotypes are that women cannot excel in STEM fields, like not in science and technology and engineering and mechanical. Like women can't excel in those fields. That's a big stereotype. That's a bad stereotype. When you got
That's a
women
wild
that
one.
engineers out here, scientists and things like that, very
Hmm.
average. But they said that women should be excelling in those fields, which is wild. That's a
Yeah.
negative stereotype about women. Um,
Hmm.
and they have another one that older people can't manage technology well. Ah, no, correct it up.
They
Correct.
because they be looking at it like, how do it was something I was telling Nana just the other day, and it was like crazy simple, yo. Something so simple. And she like, but how do I do that? I'm like, you just push this button right here. And she's still like, but where, which one? And it's gonna do what? And I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like, it was the easiest thing ever. And she was like, but sometimes with new stuff, some of the stuff it just be seeming like, and my son does it to me. I was like, how do I get off this board right here? How do I? And he come over and push the phone like I'm dumb, like I was retarded out of my mind. And I was just like, okay.
I'm like, these new age kids, child.
Yeah. He can't push the button like is right there,
I can manage technology. I mean, I can't say I'm like super tech savvy, but I can manage. But that's crazy that they feel like old people can't. I was like, I don't consider myself old.
And I'm pretty tech savvy.
I'm seasoned, you know. But they have a bad stereotype that African Americans are unintelligent.
Yeah.
I did not mean to come off that way.
And
They consider African Americans unintelligent. That's a bad stereotype. That we're not intelligent, and they say that white men are bad at sports.
That's funny.
That is super funny. I'm like, where y'all be getting this stuff from? Where y'all be getting this stuff from? There's a lot of white men that are very good at sports too. So it's just like these stereotypes that are going around out here. Yeah. And now, so we talked about the male stereotypes. Now, what about the strong female stereotype? So they say one of the primary issues with portrayal of a strong female characterizes, like they do that in the movies, like perpetuate the stereotype, like especially like you know how I think about like G.I. Jane and stuff like that. Like
strong, woman king.
Right, exactly. That too often these characters are reduced to one-dimensional archetypes embodying like traits typically associated with masculinity. Like such as physical strength, aggression, emotional detachment, and stuff. It's fun. I was just watching a movie about that like yesterday by this girl who was in the army. She was like held captive and stuff, and she got out. Her husband got killed. She went on some vigilante stuff. I was like, well, they gave her like a strong G.I. Jane. I was like, it's funny how movies how they be doing that, like making she killing men, kicking butt, cracking necks. I'm like, wow.
And look, so you know, like whenever like me and Owen, we watch a movie like that, you know, he always be like, now, you know, realistically, you know what I'm saying? Like realistically, it ain't no way that woman would have been able to beat up 10 men.
Right. I'll be like,
you never know.
Yeah,
don't
this
try to
woman
play her like she ain't all that.
when I said she was killing everybody, it was all men. Like, okay.
And look, it'd be like a little woman my size taking out the whole military.
And she was. Yeah, she was. And she was. Little teeny itty bitty thing, kicking butt, taking that cracking up laughing. Yep. But they say like, are stereotypes racist? Are they racist?
I think they can be.
They can be. They say like a racial stereotype is a depiction of an ethnicity or a race based on the trophies or the cliches that they say the stereotypes are harmful because they reduce the complexity of real people. So when you're judging people, you know, based on their ethnicity and stuff like that, like that is considered some form of racial stereotyping. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, comedians do it all the time.
They do it all the time. And a big one that's considered a racial stereotype, you're going to laugh when I tell you. Watermelon.
Oh my gosh.
Watermelon, big racial stereotype. They said because it became racist like back in the Jim Crow era, how it symbolized like self-sufficiency for African Americans back in the day. Like, and after emancipation time, they said many like Southern African Americans, they grew and sold watermelon back in the day. And it became like a symbol of their freedom. That's where the association came in with watermelon and like black people, like all black people like watermelon, but it was symbolic back in that day. But
Yeah.
you always think about, okay, oh yeah, I'm sure you eat watermelon. Or the same thing like how they say like black people eat fried chicken, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
I was about to say watermelon and chicken
it's
because
chicken.
look, so it was a couple years ago. There was this like I don't know, it was this I feel like it was like a Juneteenth celebration thing or something. But that was what they had was like watermelon and chicken. And I remember being like, is they trying to be funny? It's like, you know what I mean? I felt like it was trying to be funny or something, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like it was like, you know what I mean? It just seemed like, all right, like they feed into this like stereotype, you know what I mean, kind of thing, you know.
Okay,
But
so
I
now,
didn't mind because I love watermelon.
so now we know that the watermelon was symbolic, okay?
Yes.
It's a symbolic thing, all right? That's how our association came in. Oh, crack it up.
But I'm okay with that. Watermelon is healthy.
Okay. Like, all that other stuff. We all that other stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's healthy for you. So we talked about like the boy stereotype. Now they got the girl stereotypes, right?
Mm.
So they consider girls better at reading. And right, girls are better at reading, but they said the boys are better at math. What you think about that one?
I disagree. I mean, like I said, just only from my own experience, I struggled with reading, was excellent in math.
Say,
I was excellent in math. I remember even like in high school, my math teacher had really said that I should pursue a career in mathematics. And I remember at the
wow,
time, in my mind though, I was like, what kind of career could you get in mathematics? You know what I mean? I was thinking like besides what, like a math teacher, you
right,
know, and it was like, you know, I just wasn't really that interested. You know what I mean? You know, my dad kind of forced me into the health academy. I wanted to go into art. I wanted to go to Kappa. You know, I was all about being creative,
right.
and you know, but I was really good in the math and sciences and stuff. You know what I mean? So I was kind of figuring like, oh, you know, maybe I'll go, you know, go ahead and go with the health field since I like making people feel better and stuff. You know, but I feel like it was my dad a lot of times like that was kind of putting that and planting that in my head. You know, because he was noticing the things that I was good at. You know, too, which I was excellent in math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I think about math, like math, you know, careers and stuff, like I think about like accountants and
Hmm.
things like that, like
Yeah, accounting. But I was
you know,
like, man, that just sound boring as hell.
it is, and it's like for some reason I love like math. I always love math, and it's crazy to me because I didn't really like it a lot in school. Like
Mhm.
I wasn't a big math fan, but once I like got out of school, graduated and everything, and got into like math field, like I like working with the numbers and things like that. It's wild to me. It's wild to
Yeah.
me. Like, I don't like sitting like doing a lot of work where it involves like a lot of reading and stuff. Even although
Mhm.
that's what I said. It's crazy. Like I grew up like loving reading books, like reading like a book a week. Just love reading. And
Yeah.
then like, when I graduated out of high school, I veered away from like wanting to sit and read a book to like concentrating on math stuff, getting into a
Mhm.
career doing math and stuff. So it's just crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Women girls are like better at reading. And then they say girls are well behaved and boys are naughty. I don't know where they get that one from.
Right.
Child, child. Mm-mm. Prime example of that little stunt and prank that was pulled in the classroom was done by a little girl. Just
What?
done by a little girl. One
Yeah.
that I would have never, ever, ever thought.
Wow.
My child never thought
Mhm.
do something crazy like that. I was like, when I had the conversation, I was like, I am so disappointed. I was like,
No.
why is broken that you would do that? Why would you do that? Like,
Mhm.
child, like I would have, I think I would have probably took it a little better if it had been one of the students that like I knew was mischievous, you know.
Yeah.
They always in something. They get a lot of reminders of redirection every day. But this,
Yeah.
I was like, my heart is broken. Like I'm
Oh.
genuinely upset. I'm saying I am so disappointed. Like I was so
Yeah.
I was like, man, like it's one of those et tu brute. Like that's just on that. Like it was wild to me. Yes. So
Mhm.
I did not consider girls more well behaved. No, I did not. They say boys are good at sports and girls are more creative.
Mhm. I don't know. I was an athlete.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did a lot
Mhm.
of sports growing up too. My creativity comes in other ways. Like I've never been that person that could sit and just do all these like dazzling and jewels, you know, all that extra stuff, you know. But I think my creativity comes in other ways. But I did like doing sports, you know, doing the track and doing the baseball and softball and stuff, playing
Mhm.
football with boys and stuff like that. But they said boys are supposed to be really good at sports. Which I agree. It's a lot more boys that's doing sports. I do agree with that. I don't
Mhm.
consider them like being much better at it because girls are good too.
Right.
Sports. And they said girls should appear a certain way to be beautiful, and
Hmm.
boys should be aggressive. So if you're a girl, you're supposed to be always trying to look beautiful. That's a stereotype. So don't let my hair without no makeup on and your hair did, girl. Don't you do it. Listen, girls supposed to be beautiful at all times. I'm crying. Crying. Um, it's like the stuff they be coming up with. I can't even do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I'm like, but you see how much pressure they put on girls though? You see,
Yes.
we got all cute and beautiful all the time. It's crazy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but they have like a social class stereotype too. The
Yeah.
social class. That's big. That one's huge. That one's huge.
Mhm.
How you get judged on like where you come from and your income level. And they say those type of stereotypes depict low income people as less competent than higher income people. So it's
Yeah.
just facts. That's true. That's true. They figure out like where you come from, where you live at, your family background. Like they think you're less competent if you don't have a certain like stature or come from a certain type of family and stuff like that, which is wild.
Wow. Mhm.
But they consider people like in lower income, they consider more warmer than people that in higher income.
You said more warmer?
Warmer, yeah. Like
Oh.
they're more like loving and
More
like
personable?
generous and stuff. Yeah, right. Which I found that interesting. But they said like a lot of stereotypes affect like the social and economic status of children, like
Mhm.
from lower incomes. Like and they look at them like they're not going to achieve a lot as adults. So they get labeled in our society because they come from like low income and stuff like that. And they said like those social classes are usually institutionalized. Remember you just talking about how the third grade boys, how they're already getting more prisons ready for them and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that, more institutionalized. Um, and like especially in education, and ends up becoming a barrier for them because once they don't get to a certain level in school, then they already have them depicted that all right, well we already know where they're going to end up and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that social class stuff is real. That's real talk. That's real
It
talk.
really is though.
Yeah. And then like I said, how we talked about the school stereotypes, but they said, like you said, they consider the jocks as unintelligent athletes. Like
Mm.
all the jocks in school consider them unintelligent because they're a jock in school. And they
Wow.
said that the nerds are considered like a socially awkward genius if they're
Mhm.
a nerd. So and it makes you think back to like high school, like this stuff is real talk. This is real talk, right?
You
I
know
think
what?
about
It be relating even more to like stuff you see on TV.
yes, yes,
You
yes,
know?
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think about people like when I went to school, I was like, yeah, who was considered the nerd or the socially awkward person? Like growing up
Mhm.
in school and stuff like that. And who was just considered like the jock. Like they didn't know anything, they weren't good in good grades, but they were good in sports though. And stuff.
Yeah.
Like
And you
in
know,
different
even like when you was talking about like the different groups and stuff, um, I don't know, it's almost like I feel like I could, fit into like multiple, because I was athletic.
right,
I was in a health academy. Like you had to maintain a certain GPA to even be in a health academy. You know what
that
I mean?
part.
So it was like I was smart.
Hmm.
Um, I was really artistic, you
Mhm.
know. You know what I mean? And we were popular. Like my little crew, you know what I mean? And so it was like, you know what I mean? Like we wasn't like just this or just that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
was like, we kind of, we're pretty well rounded in a
Right.
sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, but they said like the stereotyping is dangerous because it makes
Mhm.
the students feel like their performance will reflect the skill or their group, like their cliche or their gender, their race and stuff, right? They can't be
Mhm.
dangerous.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
have
so
to
what's like the bottom line message? You know what I mean? It's like, because, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stereotypes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I guess it's like, it's like that bottom line message is like, it's to like not stereotype
buy
people, you
stereotypes,
know what I
right?
mean? And not be judgy and, like you said, look at like, people for the individual that they
Yes,
are,
yes,
you
yes,
know?
exactly, exactly. And you have to really be careful, especially with the school age kids, right? Because that's sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
end up finding them when they like get out of school and stuff like that from having that label. Um, and they
Yeah.
have like the ageism stereotypes, like for your ages, like they say like older people like can't take care of themselves because they're older,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like
Yeah.
that's real. Like, they feel like you get to a certain age and then you can't do nothing for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Although that happens in a lot of cases, but it's a lot of people that's like very good at taking care of themselves. They have their wits about them, very independent and stuff. So like that stereotype that older people can't take care of themselves is not necessarily true, right? But that's considered an ageism stereotype. And they
Mm-hmm.
said one that old people are like sickly, like very sick all the time, and they belong in nursing homes. Like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like that ageism stereotype. Like when you get a certain age, then they feel like, okay, all right, it's down here for you now. Like you can't do
And you know
nothing.
what? People do it to themselves too. You know what I mean? Be thinking like, as soon as you hit 50 or
Oh,
something, like it's time to check yourself in, you know what I mean, to the old folks home,
girl, child,
you
listen,
know. Or it's like, because they, what I mean, we be already having these beliefs, you know what I mean, or by the time you're 55 or something, you know what I mean?
that'd be
Yeah.
crazy. That'd be crazy to me. Like
Mhm.
I think of my age, and then I think of somebody that's like my age or maybe a few years older than me, and they be having that mentality like, "Ooh, I'm old, child." Ooh, and be
Mhm.
acting old, and like that, like 70. I'd be afraid to tell them how old I am.
Right, right. Because you might
Oh,
mess around and be older than them.
oh, 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 don't, I'm scared to tell you how old I am because, honey, we like the same age, and you act like an old person. I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm like, you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out how old I am because
Yeah,
I ain't about to
right.
tell you. Listen,
Mhm.
that's the prime example of like how I be go get my nails done, and when I start talking about like my grandkids and stuff like that, and they be like, "You got grandkids?" I be like, "I do." Yeah, I'm not old enough to have no grandkids. I be like, "Good. I'm glad you think that." Good.
Mhm.
That's my goal in life. To not look my age, okay? So I'll take that as a compliment. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Who is that, Bree? Want you to say happy birthday? Can you say happy birthday, Bree? That's what it say up here.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Mhm. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Bree.
Happy birthday, birthday. Yes. But child, and they say that like old people can't make decisions for themselves. What?
Mhm. Maybe
Child,
some of them, but shoot, I know it's a lot of them.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
type of old person I'ma be.
okay. I'm like, but
Yeah.
these are call them ageism stereotypes. And then they
Mhm.
say that we have trouble operating technology is very challenging to them. Okay, maybe for some, but not for all.
Mhm.
Not for all. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's that goes into that putting us in a box, like putting a certain age in a box. That's crazy. And they said that like older people have poor mental capacity, and that will
Mhm.
occur at some point in their life, poor mental capacity, and that they're lonely because they're old. They're lonely people.
Mm. They
Child.
live alone, maybe.
But yeah,
Mhm.
I know a lot of older people that's out here living their best life and they're not alone. Okay,
Right. What
not
they
low,
call them
right?
teenagers.
Not literally. Okay. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
hello. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. And then they have the stereotype when it comes to toys.
Mm-hmm.
Toys like they have such thing as like girl toys that tend to focus on domestic things or nurturing things or appearances, girl toys, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
domestic. To where they have like boy toys are emphasized on like building stuff, action figures, aggressive play, consider like the boy
Mm-hmm.
toys. And that's real talk. They do have such thing as girl toys and what like why does like the girl toys always got to be the feminist stuff with the doll babies and like them with the ironing boards and like the dolls,
Mm-hmm.
like all the domestic stuff. And then you
The,
see
the,
boys that
the
got the
play
rugged
kitchen.
right. Then you see the boys with the picker rugged trucks and the dump trucks and all that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is so
It be
true.
wild. And you know how it's like you can imagine like, somebody seeing like a boy playing in a play kitchen and getting mad at him.
That part.
You know what I mean? Like what you in this kitchen for? Maybe he wanna be a chef.
Right.
Maybe he
It's
wanna be, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he wanna make desserts when he gets older.
that part. Listen, I have a play kitchen in the classroom. You know how many of them little boys love to be that kitchen child?
Wow, I can imagine. I love
They
it.
find the little girls to be in the kitchen. I be cracking up.
Yeah, like my son, he loved cooking. Well, I ain't gonna say he loved cooking. He loves seasoning. You know what I mean? Like he be big on his seasonings and stuff. You know what I mean? He want to have the garlic, the onion, the curry. You know what I'm
I
saying? And when we go to the market, he be like, Armando, we got enough of this? We got enough of that? He want his food to be right.
I know that's right.
I'm like,
Okay,
look,
nephew.
that you know what
Okay,
I mean? That ain't got nothing to do with gender. That got to do with being just a person
that part.
that
That
like
part.
food.
Okay. Nephew gonna have to hook his auntie up something since he in there doing rocking it like that. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. But these stereotypes is crazy. Like the gender, like they say men are more likely to be considered ambitious and natural leaders because they're a man.
That's wild to me too.
That's wild to me. Then the
Yeah.
racial one, they say
Mhm.
in Midwestern countries that East Asian people are stereotyped as being good at math because they're East
Mhm.
Asian. That's a racial ethnicity an ethnical stereotype. Then they have the neurodiversity ones that come with the brain. Some more people with
Mhm.
ADHD are stereotyped as being hyperactive or loud and impulsive,
Mhm.
stuff like that. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Like it's like these stereotypes are real, but how we talk about like how do you like really veer from them? And they got how they say like the sexist phrases like boys will be boys,
Mhm.
yeah, boys be boys, like real misogynistic, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then it's saying like, oh, they see a girl be like, why she dressed like that? Like
Mhm.
women and girls are often blamed for like sexual assault and crimes being committed against them. That's because they dressed a certain way.
Mhm.
So it's almost that thing like, oh well, you asked for it, you shouldn't have wore that. What?
Which is crazy.
It's crazy, which is crazy. So you gotta
Mhm.
look a certain way in order for nobody not to attack you. It's crazy. Um, and then or they'll say something like my ex girlfriend is crazy.
Mm.
how, how like why the ex girlfriends always gotta be the crazy ones, right?
Mhm.
Or they'll say like a girl like she's such a drama queen. Really,
Which is wild
I'm
because what I'm like, shoot, a lot of men I know, well, I be saying that they are like more dramatic than a Disney prince.
that
You know what I'm
part.
saying? Be
That
out
part.
here with the drama.
With the drama.
You
Like
know what
I
I'm saying?
found drama keys too, girl drama queens. I'll be like, if the label fits, you being so
Exactly.
I'll be like, stop being a drama king. I'll say that to the boys or the girls, stop being a drama king. You know you're doing too much right now. But they say like, how do you break the stereotypes?
Yeah.
So how do you break them?
How
So
do you
let's say
break them?
break them, right? This is how we're gonna close out. How do you break them? So
Mhm.
build your confidence in interacting with people who are different from you.
Okay.
Interact with people who are different from you. It says
Yeah.
seek opportunities to engage in discussions in safe environments. Spend time with people outside your usual social group or
Mhm.
volunteer in a community that is different from your own.
Mhm.
To break a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah. And so, like I like when say like if me and my daughter, like, we go someplace, and you can tell like it kind of seemed like they're not used to seeing like black women, what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And so, it's like we always, like, we just be ourselves and stuff, but we be like pleasant and stuff, and we be polite and things, and we do be thinking, I've said that one time, was like, we're probably giving them a whole different perspective of black women that they may, what I'm saying, that might be different from the stereotype of what they usually might be thinking.
Absolutely. Yes.
You
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yes. But that's a way to break from it. Like get to know, like talk to the individual, interact with them. Go outside of your community and stuff like that. This is the only way you're gonna learn and know about people. Like stop looking on
Right.
the outside, feel like you got that perception or that view of how that person is, you know?
Mhm.
Yep. But this I feel like this topic is a work in progress. Work in progress. Right.
Mhm.
Something that cannot happen like overnight, but changing your perception and just doing little things like interacting with people that's different from you and stuff like that probably can like change a lot of the stereotypes and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a subject that you can talk a lot about this, right? Because this is real, 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 real. Right.
Mhm.
Right. In the world today, like it's just inevitable. It really is. It's inevitable that these stereotypes
Mhm.
have been ingrained in us and have been around for years and years and years and years. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's why it's important to constantly work on being better in your own self.
that
You
being
know
better
what
than
I'm
your own
saying?
self.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
because that's how we change people's stereotypes too. You know what I'm saying? And and it be sometimes where because I can remember like times where say like a guy be trying to talk to me or something, and and maybe he feel like I'm being dismissive, and then they start with that, oh, see, that's why men don't be like this with black women or something like that, and it'd be like, all right, like here we go. You know what I mean? Like they act like I'm perpetuating the stereotype or you continuing it on or something. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
But it'd be like
Yeah.
that just is what it's gonna be.
That's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like stereotypes are real and they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Just the fact about it, they're not going anywhere. All we do is bring light to them.
All
Just
right.
take a look and take the lens off sometime and see things from a different perspective. Okay.
Mhm.
All people are the same. Not all people do the same. Okay. So look at it from a different. Yeah. Yeah. But that was our topic for today. Stereotype. There's a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them out here. Yeah. But we do this every Sunday,
Mhm.
8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm Tibby. That's my lovely sister. Then they got us like some artistic feeling expression.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah. So we totally appreciate you being here, and it is
Mhm.
all love, all love. You could have
All
been
love, all
on the
time.
YouTube street, and you were a part of our live today, and for that, so grateful, so
We
grateful.
thank you.
We thank you. We appreciate you for being here. We appreciate you for being here. And if you have not done anything for yourself today, please do something for you. Please do something for you.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I always say, uh, you never know what we're gonna talk about. So hope that you will tune in with us next week, next Sunday at
Yeah.
3 o'clock. We always got something interesting that we're gonna talk about. Okay.
Mhm.
And I hope that you guys will have an amazing week. Have an amazing week. And I'm not sure where you
Yes.
are, but where we are, we're getting the snow. So if you're in a place where you're getting snow, be safe out there. Stay warm, stay cozy.
Mhm.
We got our tea. Got our tea.
Yes.
I'm about to indulge and enjoy and get nice and cozy. All right.
Yes.
But until next time, have a great rest of your day and a great week. And hope to see you
Yes,
next week.
yes.
All right?
And continue to breathe deep. Yes,
Yes.
taking that breath of life.
Yes. 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 Yeah. All right. Until next time. Take
See
care.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.